Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Urban Update. I'm Byron Barnett. On the show this morning, an upcoming event that strives to change the economic system for women, minority, and immigrant-owned businesses in Massachusetts. Also on the program, fighting the high risk of diabetes in the Latino community with a tasty and musically filled evening. But up first, earlier this spring, Boston Mayor Marty Walsh announced the appointment of Gisselle Sterling as Commissioner of Veterans Services for the City of Boston. She's the first Latina and first woman to hold this position, the first daughter to be born in the United States to Dominican parents. Sterling proudly served in the United States Marine Corps with deployments to Afghanistan, the Philippines, Guam, and Okinawa, Japan. She was awarded the Good Conduct Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and the National Defense Service Medal. Today she joins us to discuss her office's commitment to advocacy and service for our veterans right here in Boston. Welcome to Urban Update. Thanks for coming in. Congratulations on the appointment to the City of Boston. Before we start out with your office and what you're doing there, let's talk a little bit about your life as a Marine. I heard you were a pretty good one.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me. Wow, my life as a Marine was short but great. I spent about my first year and a half in Okinawa, Japan, and had some really great deployments after that. My primary military occupational specialty was as a field radio operator, but I was always the type to raise my hand for any training opportunities I could, so I also became a PMI or peer marksman instructor, along with a Marine Corps martial arts brown belt instructor.
Wow. Did the men take orders from you and take direction from you?
They had to.
Okay, all right. Now, when did you enlist?
So 2000 to 2004.
But I mean, you enlisted right out of high school,
Yes.
huh? Why did you decide you wanted to enlist in the Marines?
Sure. I mean, I knew I wanted to be a Marine since a very early age, 14 years old, I can remember.
Really?
And my father is also a Vietnam Marine, so he had a little bit to do with it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's talk about your job here. How do you describe the mission of your office as with the mayor's office as for Veterans Affairs?
Sure. I'll preface this by saying Massachusetts is very special in the way that we treat our veterans. Every city and town has a VSO, or Veteran Service Officer, by law, and we are responsible for administering the Chapter 115 financial benefits program. So that's one of the duties that we have in the office. But aside from Chapter 115, our priority is always to engage, advocate, and serve our constituents.
Mm-hmm. Now, Mayor Marty Walsh has talked a lot about his commitment to issues surrounding the veterans. Can you talk to us about some of his priorities
Sure.
for veterans?
Veteran specific, the number one priority right now is ending veterans homelessness in 2015. This is a challenge that came down from the White House. He took it and has been running with it for the past year, and we are very close to attaining that goal. We're about 60 veterans shy of attaining that goal. But our biggest challenge to date is really finding units for those veterans. So if there's anything that I want our viewers to take away from today is if they know a landlord, to reach out to them, have them engage. And the initiative is called the Homes for the Brave initiative.
Now, what about numbers? How many veterans are coming home now?
Sure, we're averaging between 20 and 30 a month. You know, when people think about veterans coming back, they think about the waves in World War I and World War II, but it's really more of a trickle right now. In Boston, we have about 19 to 22,000 veterans, depending on what census you're looking at. But each and every one of them have a different case, and we do our best through our office to serve them.
Now, you were saying that when you talk about homelessness, the problem is really more acute for some of the Vietnam vets?
Yeah, a lot of the veterans that we're seeing right now are from Vietnam era. When they came home, they didn't have the services that we have today. They didn't get that warm welcome that we're giving our veterans today. So they really ran into challenges that they were trying to take care of on their own, which is difficult and just perpetuated.
You think the younger veterans, the ones who are coming back now, are more willing to accept help, emotional, psychological, or whatever,
Absolutely.
than the older Vietnam
Absolutely.
vets who try to tough it out? Is that kind of the way it is?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the veterans that are coming back in, you know, they know of the services that are available to them for the most part. If they're not, then, you know, the Veterans Network is doing their best to engage them in that way so they know that they're not alone.
Now, what about some of the upcoming events or initiatives that your office is working on?
Number one, and I'll say it again, is the Homes for the Brave initiative, ending veterans homelessness in 2015. We're only a few months away from that, so that's definitely the number one priority.
Now, we've got this graphic up here. Are you a landlord? This is what you were talking about. What do you want landlords to do?
Sure, get them engaged, know that we can't do this alone. This has been a great collaborative initiative between the Department of Neighborhood Development, Home Start, the New England Center for Homeless Veterans, but we can't find those units without our landlords getting engaged. So again, if you know a landlord or are a landlord, we can get them to get to the Homes for the Brave .boston.gov website. That's really the entry point for the initiative.
Now, in your job, you follow in the footsteps of Commissioner Francisco Urena, who was on the show before, and he's moved up to the state position now. So talk to me about how did he help shape you for this job?
Yes, if you want to talk about the poster child for a good Marine, he is the poster child for a great Marine. He leads by example. He's been a great advocate for veterans. He puts veterans first before politics, and learning those lessons from him, I feel very fortunate to have been under his leadership and still continue to have him as a mentor.
You know, when you talk about your career, in the United States Marines, I guess, so what was that like being over in Afghanistan? I mean, is it the Marines, have they caught up to the PC world that we live here in the United States, or did you have a few challenges?
You know, it's really interesting. I think the Marine Corps that I went into is not the Marine Corps of today. I mean, we've seen Marines with, close communications. They've got internet now, and so it's changed, and I think continues to change and progress.
What about being a woman?
Sure, especially for women. I think, just recently we had the first Army Rangers, female Army Rangers graduate from that course. When I went in, women only made about 6% of the Marine Corps. Now it's 15%, and that's expected to jump another 50%. So it's been interesting.
Okay, and one quick word in here again, back to your office as Commissioner of Veteran Services. How can folks get more information about the services? Returning vets, vets who have been here, families who would want to know things?
Sure. One, I would definitely resource or reference the Mass Vets Advisor .org. It's got lots of resources there, but specific to Boston, definitely they can find us. Our office is at 43 Hawkins Street, and they can go online and find us at cityofboston.gov.
You got a Facebook page?
Yes, we're also on Facebook. Our handle is Boston Vets, both on Twitter, and you can give us a call at 671-241-VETS or 8387.
Okay, wow, it sounds like that there are a lot of good things for some of these veterans coming home, and some of the veterans who are here as well. And you are the woman to make sure it all happens. Commissioner of Veteran Services for the City of Boston, Gisselle Sterling, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having
congratulations.
me. Thank you.
Okay, coming up, a bold attempt to change the economic system for women, minority, and immigrant-owned businesses in Massachusetts. All the details right here on Urban Update. Stay with us. We'll be right back.